Welcome back to the channel, my lovely G4 family. How are you doing today? Hope you're safe and well. Welcome back to Life Behind the Sticks, and today we are going to go deep into Gaming for XP headquarters and do a wee bit of building. Something a wee bit different. Let's do it! So welcome to Life Behind the Sticks. Hope you're enjoying this series so far. I'm actually having a lot of fun with the series. It just allows me to do a whole lot of things that normally would just I wouldn't discuss or wouldn't have time to do. So today it's quite a different video. We're actually going to go into the Creation Center in Gaming for XP and do some building, like I said in the intro. Just to give you the background to this, I wanted to get or try and free up some space on the Creation Center on the desk in Gaming for XP headquarters. I wanted to tidy things up, make things a little bit more workable in my space. And so about a couple of weeks ago, I actually purchased a single arm monitor Duvalaki thing to put my monitor on an monitor arm, and just to try and see how it went. So I used that on my main gaming monitor, and I loved it so much. It just it brings the monitor up to eye level. It frees up a whole lot of area underneath there on the desk and just tidied a whole lot of things up. So having done that and been very impressed, I was actually very surprised how much I liked it. I decided that the other two monitors that I use, I'd like to do the same to. So that's what we're going to cover in today's video. So, okay, so first of all, what I will say is I have an iMac, which is my main computer, and then I have a second monitor. Both of those monitors required a specific bracket for each of them. It wasn't as simple as just taking the leg off like I did with my gaming monitor and just bolting on a monitor arm. So a little bit trickier. So this build today is a bit fiddlier than I anticipated, and I thought I would share it with you. So that was the first thing. Second thing is I do use a number of cameras and audio sources, microphones, etc. during the footage. So I apologise, it's kind of been a while since I've done one of these type of videos, so the audio is a little bit all over the place. I will try and even that out in post, but and the footage is a bit different in places. But hopefully you get the feeling of how it all kind of started and panned out and the little struggles, and there are a lot of struggles along the way. And thirdly, what I wanted to say is stick around to the end of the video, because I will give you an honest appraisal of the different pieces that we had to use during this build, how they were. I will show you what they are during the video, but how I feel about what I bought and how it worked in real life, and I'll do that right at the end. So hope you're going to enjoy it, guys. Let's get into it that way or that way. Welcome to Gaming for XP headquarters. This is where the magic happens. Yeah, I'm not kidding. The magic. There's an amazing floating monitor there. Look at that. That is astounding. There's nothing underneath it. There's not an arm or a leg or anything holding it up. How the heck does that work? G4. Well, today we are going to try and answer that question, and we're going to fix those other two monitors, the ones that are lit up at the moment. If you've ever had anything to do with Apple products, you'll know nothing with Apple is ever simple. We're going to fix that, and also we have a BenQ on the far right there. Again, that's not a stock standard. Just bolt something to it and it'll float. It has some issues too. Let's fix that. Let's do the tweak. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is pull these two monitors out, get everything out, and yeah, then we can start doing our thing. So as if by magic you can see it's an absolute mess in the back there, so we'll probably take the opportunity to tidy up a few of these wires. And one thing I did want to show you is all the cables that came out of the back of the iMac. I've actually just put some tape on, some masking tape, to keep them all together, to stop them sliding down through that hole. And the same with the other monitor. So we're at now, let's go over to the work area and we will show you what we're going to use. Okay, so yeah, we need a delivery from Amazon, and we should be good. Lo and behold, look, all the packages arrived. Let's get them unpacked and we'll show you what's in there. Okay, so what we got? So we got the mounting arm, monitor arm. We have a stand, Vivo Stand Mac B, a VESA mounting adapter kit for the iMac. Yep. And then we have a Vivo mount BQ EW01, and that is for the BenQ. So I will be leaving descriptions to all of this on the channel during this video, so you can see what they are and where they're from and how to get them and all that kind of good stuff. So let's open this one first and we'll get rid of these. Okay. So what comes in the kit? Well, luckily for me, there's some instructions. Cool. Big ring, couple rings, some screws, and the mounts. And that's it. So we don't need that, that can go. Okay, so this looks as though it's going to be fairly straightforward, hopefully. So let's get the iMac, and yeah, we'll start reading the instructions, I guess. So one of the things with the iMac, and I'm going to need to clean this up before I put it in, but one of the things with the iMac is this leg here can actually be taken off. You can actually get it in there, you have to pry that off, and there's a little mounting bracket that you can put on there, and then your mounting arm will attach that. The problem with that is to try and get the bracket, is it's like well over $100 just for a little bracket there. So the bracket I've got just sits on here, the mount area here, and the whole leg comes with it. So that's the compromise I guess I had to make. Okay, so let's get it started and let's get this mounted on the leg. So depending on what actual model of Mac that you have will determine how you need to clamp this on. So there are two different options for you to clamp these. So you're basically going to do this. So I don't know if you can see that on camera. So I'm going to put it through one side like this, and we're going to clamp it like that, and we're going to line it up with the hole. It is a little bit fiddly, so let's line it up with the hole. It'll drop into the hole. You heard that click, which makes life a lot easier because you don't have to worry about your holding this. And then just screw it into the hole to hold it like that, and then we will button up. We'll just do it loosely so we can get this into place. Sorry if the camera keeps resetting itself. We have got it on autofocus to try and make sure that you can, and you're probably seeing the back of my head at the moment, which is never a good thing, but anyway, there we go. So that's sitting in there like that. It's sitting in there like that, and then we will put the now one thing I do advise you do is get a cloth or something when you find these screws, and so they don't roll away. So they're there, because that's something that I'm bad for, losing screws. They just roll away on me. So we haven't actually put these on yet, these little nuts.
We're just loosely putting all of these screws in until we get the thing affixed. Sorry for the little bit of noise, but that's as difficult as it should be, and then the monitor arm will clamp onto there and life's good. So I'm just going to tighten these up off camera, and we're good to go with the second monitor bracket. Life's good. Okay, so we're done, but that took a lot longer than it should, and there's a couple of things that I'll say. There's a bolt in the back of here that the original nut would not fit on. It wouldn't screw on, so I had a few issues. And also this whole bracket kept sliding back and forward, so I actually had to clamp it down with pliers, tighten it up, but finally we got it done. So a few challenges. You would think it was a pretty straightforward kind of thing to do, but you know, nothing is ever simple when I am building things, I can tell you. I'm sure you have the same frustration. So it's on now, all good. Should be fairly straightforward. Like I said, a few issues, but nothing major. BenQ monitor. So we have to get this off first, this thing. I've put a little bit of a soft surface on here just to protect the monitor. There is a screw there. There's a couple of screws either side of the leg. I'm hoping that that's what we need to use to get this off. However, it's quite an off angle. So how I'm going to get into that, I'm not quite sure. Sure, we will have a bit of a scout around so we can figure out how to get this off, and then we'll be back. So this actually requires quite a bit of physical strength. Eventually. Oh jeez, this is making me sweat a bit. Oh, I gotta sweat this much for. Oh, there we go. Out. Okay, chopped. And oh boy, that took a bit of wrangling. Okay, so that's done. We'll get the bracket. Slot the bracket in there. That's the plan. We should be good. Let's see how we go with that. So here is the bracket here. Let's just get this tape off. There we go. Pull her out of the box. There are some instructions there, which yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about. So pretty simple design. This thing here should just push up into there, and yeah, you can see what happens next. So we are going to see if we can get this to fit, and we'll be good. Once again, it's fighting me. Of course it is. Bit of persuasion. Oh. Yep, that should be good. I think it needs to be persuaded a little bit more, but there we go. That clicked in, you heard it. That's it. It's going to hold it. There we go. Easy. Okay, final stage. I'm sure this will be the fun part. Okay, so we've got our mounting Duvalaki in here. Let's just get some of this tape off. There we go. So both monitors now have got the brackets on. It's just a case of building the arm. Show what it looks like. Okay, so what have we got in the box? What's in the box? So there's the double arms. Well, that's probably a little bit wide, but it's double arms. Oh, I just broke something. Anyway. So double arms. What else have we got in here? That's the thing that it sits on, like that. And yeah, a whole lot of brackets and screws and all kinds of stuff. So let's get this unpacked and we will get it going. So as you can see, there's a whole lot of fun parts here. Just zoom in a little bit. Lots of fun. We'll get this all assembled and show you how it works. First part we're going to do is we have this here and this here, and then that sits on there like that. So we got to get all that bolted together like that. It also does come with a, you can't see that, a round plate if you prefer a round plate for this. That probably sits in there like that. It's a little screw that screws into there, so that you can just fix it like that. If you prefer that, I probably will go with that one. For me personally, that's probably a better option. So let's get this assembled. It doesn't look as though it's too difficult. A couple of screws, MEs and MFs, and we're good. So we're just going to find the screws, bolt it all together, and we'll come back. Okay, so that went surprisingly easy. I may regret it, but this obviously just is the way that you bolt it to your desk, and it'll sit like that. Hopefully you can see that. I left this on. It just seems to be okay. So first part done. Reasonably straightforward. I'm sure it's not going to be the same the rest of the thing. We have these plates, probably put those on next to the arms each side, and then we can then start to get this added to the main structure, and then we'll put it on the desk. This is actually a really cool feature. Now luckily the piece that you saw me break before, there was a replacement piece. So obviously it happens quite often, but these things here, you can see, I can't know if you can see, but there's stoppers there, so you actually just slide that straight on and it clicks in. So what you can do is you can bolt these to your monitors first and then slide the whole assembly down in there, which I really like. We'll see how it works in practice, but it's a pretty neat feature. So basically just slide it down like that. It has these stops there, so bolt it onto your monitor, slide the monitor down, life's good. So that's a quick release system, so I like that a lot. Okay, so we're going to work on all the stuff that goes in here, because there's some of this kind of stuff here, these plastic parts that hold the arm in. That should be about the last bit. Get these mounted to the monitors, and then we can assemble it onto the desk. Yay, happy days. It's on the desk now. We're just going to have to maneuver it, find the right position, put both the monitors on, and we should be done. Yay. Okay, so here is the final product, and I've got to say I'm pretty happy with it. It has freed up a heck of a lot of space on the desk. Actually, we had to move the USB hub from kind of over here in the middle to across there, because it wouldn't fit under here. Move the speaker in front. But for that, I managed to get the phone on a desk, which was up here before, so that's good. There's still a lot of space there to be had. So overall, I think it's really been a nice project. I'm pretty happy with it. There are a few things that I probably would have done a little bit differently. Because of the nature of the arm I bought, these will move that way forward and backwards, but they won't move up and down. Same with that, so effectively you probably can't tell, but that one's just a little bit too high for me. I can't do anything about it. So I would have probably used spring-loaded arms, and if I really thought about it. But apart from that, I'm pretty happy with the overall result.
Okay, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Hope you find it interesting, something a little bit different. So let's go through each of the components that we used during the video, and I'll give you my honest feedback on them. So the Vivo VESA, so the Vivo adapter VESA mount kit for the iMac. Pretty simple kind of concept. Basically, you just bolt the thing onto the back of the arm of the iMac, then bolt the arm onto the bracket. And yeah, I had as you seen during the video, I had a few issues with actually getting the bracket to bind together with the nuts, with the nut and the screw. Apart from that, it was pretty straightforward. If you don't get it tight enough, the bracket actually just moves around. I hope you're liking the hand action. Now, no extra charge for the hand action, but yeah, if you don't get it tight enough, it moves left and right, so you need it really quite tight. So I had to actually squeeze that together. But essentially, once I got that all sorted out, it did do exactly what it says on the packet. The alternative was to get another bracket, which was about $120 Australian, somewhere around there, which meant taking the leg of the iMac off. So I saved myself nearly $100 in using this particular bracket. The only problem was it really didn't do the job as far as freeing up room underneath the monitor a great deal, because the leg's still there. And if you don't have the leg at a 90-degree angle, it will give you a few issues when you try and attach it to the monitor arm. So that was a few of the things that I found. However, because the leg is pointing out like that under the screen, I actually can use it as a little shelf. So wasn't too bad. If I had my time again, I probably would have just left that alone and left it on the desk. But it is actually a benefit to have it a little bit higher. And yeah, I don't mind it the way that I've done it. Moving on to the BenQ adapter plate, this thing here, see? So I bought that based on information that I read online, watched YouTube and whatnot. And yeah, as it turned out, and as you might have noticed in the video, there was actually 4 mounting screws on the back of the monitor, so I didn't actually need this adapter. Nope. So if you have got a BenQ monitor and you're thinking of putting a monitor arm on, if you want a bracket, I'm happy to send that out to you at no charge. Just DM me and yeah, we can have a wee discussion on it. It's one of those things that happens sometimes. You know, you do all your research before you do something. You buy all the bits you need, and then yeah, it's purely my fault. I should have looked on the back of the monitor screen. And in fact, I did, and I didn't think that bracket was going to... I thought that where the holes were, the bracket that came with the arm was going to be too small to fit that, but as it turned out, it was fine. So that was a piece of kit, and you know, something that I didn't need to buy. And finally, the mounting arms themselves. So I gotta say, the way that... Okay, so firstly, putting them together was a piece of cake. Very straightforward, the way they came together. The fact that the mounting plates for the monitors actually drop straight into the arms was fantastic. Made life a heck of a lot easier to work with both monitors and get them mounted on the arms. The actual shaft and how that attached to the desk, fantastic. So from the point of view of construction and the way that it all going together and the way that I got it on the desk, fantastic. For me, too much plastic on it. As you saw in the video, I broke a piece off by accident. Luckily, they had a spare for that, so it wasn't too much of a drama. If they hadn't had a spare, I don't know exactly what we were going to do, because that acts as a clip to hold the mounting bracket in. A little bit too much plastic on the arm, and the real drama was because it's an arm like that essentially, and it's got arms coming off it. You could only kind of move the thing in and out. You couldn't go up and down, which I need. So I think in hindsight, I would have bought spring-loaded arms, which are individual arms, and I might still do that and just put them on the shaft that came with that particular mounting arm system. way that you actually attach. So if you think that that's the monitor, and you attach, the monitors kept doing that. So the tightening mechanism for the arm was a bit fiddly, and that's what took probably the most time after the build to get the monitors right. The way that the arm setup is on that particular bracket and that particular system didn't give you a lot of flexibility, and there was a lot of jiggling around and maneuvering and tightening screws out and tightening, pushing things up. A little bit fiddly, but for what it was and for the price it was, I can't say it is what it is. It does the job. Both the monitors are there now. One's higher than the other, whereas if I'd got a spring-loaded arm, I could have evened them out. And but it is what it is. It does the job. And yeah, would I recommend them? Yeah, they're okay for what they are, but probably I would recommend you go with spring-loaded arms if you're going to do this. They're a little bit more expensive, but boy oh boy, they give you a heck of a lot more flexibility. My gaming monitor is actually on a spring-loaded arm, and it is fantastic. So there you go, guys. That's my appraisal of the project. It was a lot of fun. It was a little bit frustrating, but it was something different that I wanted to put to you on the channel. I hope you're enjoying the life behind the sticks. I have got quite a few more little projects ahead, especially with the controllers and stuff. So keep an eye out for them. Thanks for joining us. If you did enjoy this, it's a little bit lengthy, please leave a like down below. If you want to keep up on these kind of techie videos, make sure you're subscribed and the notification bell is on. And we'll catch you next time on Gaming for XP. See ya!